Studio. So Jason, tell me about yourself and tell me why we're here in Dorset and
Something like that. So, my name's Jason Lane and I run the Spelthorne Parkies support group. We've been running it since about 2011, and that was following the diagnosis of my wife Kirsty. She was diagnosed at the age of 26, at young onset Parkinson's. Once, when she was diagnosed, we didn't know how to feel when we left that consultation room with the doctor. We didn't know whether we should feel different or whether we should do anything different to what we did before going into the room, and we felt a little bit lost. So we started to do some research on support groups that were in our area, and we went to one support group and we just found that it wasn't right for us. So we decided to set our own one up. We did so, and we started off with just one other member. Kirsty and one other member just joined up and went down to the local pub for a drink. From that, we evolved and we have over about 50 members in total.
Wow.
We were very fortunate enough to have a really good consultant based at St George's Hospital, and she wanted to take Kirsty under her wing following an awful lot of problems that we encountered. Medication that she was taking, there's lots of side effects that causes different things, which in actual fact is worse than having Parkinson's.
Yeah.
So she put us on a programme to try and deal with the disease with alternative therapy, so not necessarily taking medication. And we were very fortunate enough to go on to the Sardinia project, whereby we were sent there for basically Parkinson's boot camp and mixing with other people in a similar situation to us, and learn all sorts of new ways of dealing with it. A lot of it was to do with health and well-being and mindfulness, and we wanted to try and bring that experience to our group, hence why we are in Weymouth, and we wanted to bring the programme to the UK. We're very fortunate enough to have some of the team from Sardinia that have joined us this week. They're helping us run a programme. So we have a neurologist from Rome, we have a neurologist from St George's Hospital, we have a clinical psychologist, and we have a music therapist, and we also obviously have you.
Hey.
So we're doing it. This is the second year we've run it, and hopefully we'll be running it for many years to come.
So what's like the main outcome of this week with patients and people here?
So the main outcome is to teach them how to deal with their everyday living differently to what they were.
Yeah.
So whereas before they might have sat at home taking tablets and being completely immobile, completely down in their mind, this gives them an opportunity to really look at life differently and how they can manage their symptoms just by doing the most simplest of things.
Fantastic. So how long have you been running Spelthorne Parkies for?
Since 2011.
So that's what?
10 years? 11 years? 12 years?
12
years?
11 years. Yeah, coming up to 11 years. What's like the future with Spell? Where do you want to go with everything like that?
So I think all we need to do really is raise awareness in the local area.
Yeah.
And just invite people who want to use us as a platform. The main aim from our perspective is to bridge the gap between the medical profession and living with Parkinson's every day, and that's not necessarily for people with Parkinson's disease, but also the people that live with it.
Yeah.
So a lot of the carers or family members, husbands, wives, sons, daughters. So we're there for them as well.
Yeah.
It's a great platform to share experiences, network for people who understand, just bring some normality back to people's lives.
Definitely. From this group, it's very communicable.
Biggest thing that we find is the most benefit to them is probably the physical aspect of the group. So the exercise that we do once a week, I think is amazing for them. A lot of people would never have thought that they would enter a gym since diagnosed.
That's it. Coming to Tuesday and Wednesdays classes, Tuesday and Friday classes, Fortis.
And I think the other thing about the group is that it's such a wide range of people. So we have, a wide varied of age gaps. Kirsty being the youngest, and obviously the oldest is probably about 82, 83. So it's a great combination. It's not all designed for, you have to be retired.
Yeah.
You have to live in Spelthorne. You could be living anywhere.
Yeah. And
People-
and the thing is, you could get Parkinson's when you're young as well.
Definitely. And as we move through and understand Parkinson's more, I think people are diagnosed a lot earlier in their life than perhaps they would have been about 10 years ago.
Yeah. Thank you for coming on, Jason, to my studio in Dorset. It was lovely, I appreciate it.
You're welcome.